Coach, 30 assists today for your team. Can you kind of speak to your ball movement in this win?
It's something that we've been working on, for a couple of weeks now, because we felt like something was missing from the fluidity of our offense, just being unselfish and finding the right and the best shot on the floor. And I thought our players really concentrating on doing that. And then when they do, it's pretty awesome. That percentage, 30 assists on 38 field goals, is pretty impressive.
Coach, in your game against Alabama, you had 11 points in the first quarter. Today you had 25. Could you touch on just how the start went today?
That's another thing. Another thing we've been working on, just getting out to quicker starts in the first quarter and the third quarters. And I thought we did a really good job with that. We want to play our best basketball as we enter into the end of the season and into postseason. And this was a really good start to hopefully us bottling this up and playing this well throughout the rest of the season. But we know opponents have something to do with that as well.
Coach, and as one of your former players, what's it like seeing her flourish into the player she is today?
I'm happy for her. I'm happy for her. I understood why she transferred. She wanted a bigger opportunity. She wanted more playing time. And as you can see, she deserves what she's getting here at Kentucky. I'm glad she came here. I'm glad she's under Kyra's tutelage, and she's excelling.
Coach, Sanaya Fagan was all over the stat sheet today. What did you see as her biggest impact?
On both sides of the basketball, she was as impactful as she is in practice. Sometimes a player can practice extremely well, and they don't really see the fruits of their labor in games. And she's one that's been doing it in practice, and we haven't yet to get to see her display it all in the game. And she did that today. I thought she took her time on offense. I thought she's stat filler. She blocked shots. She got assists. She scored the ball. She got rebounds. That's the standard for her. And we preach that. Like, she's very capable of doing that. When she's not doing that, something's not meeting the mark. So that's why we try to stay on her to continue to flourish, because these are the type of experiences that she can have out there on the court.
Coach, your two largest conference wins of the season are both against Kentucky. How do you separate your performances versus Kentucky versus the rest of the SEC?
I don't know. We actually utilize our height. So we work inside out. They put their small lineup in, and we want to just make sure that we're taking advantage of the mismatch, because they do have a mismatch. They have a guard offensively against our bigs, and we really have been working that particular matchup, because we know teams can do that. And I thought Anaya would be a matchup problem for us, because she's been playing extremely well, attacking the basket. She got her outside shot going. But I thought we did a good job of just staying in front of her and just keeping the body in front of her and not giving her any open looks. And I think we just, we feed off that. Once our post players are established, everything else can open up for us, and that's what happened today.
Coach, will you speak to trying to contain Kentucky's outside shooters?
It's hard. This league is hard. There are much better players than they were 10 years ago. Excuse me, I don't want to step anybody's toes, but you really have to game plan for the talent in our conference. And for us, our main objective is to contain them, like have a body in front of them no matter where they are, whether they were shooting threes or whether they were attacking the basket. We wanted them to score over us and utilize our length in that department. Some we did a great job, and some we didn't. I think for the most part that we were able to be there for most of the game. And if our offense comes the way it did, we can build a lead off of that kind of effort.
Yeah. Coach, you jumped out fast. You had a big lead at halftime, but then you jumped out fast again in that third quarter. How gratifying was that for you? You know, in terms of really keeping that pace, especially knowing how Kentucky could knock down shots and get right back in it.
Yeah, that I mean, we keep in mind of, I think they went on a 17-0 run, or 19-0 run to win the game, their last game. When you go on a run like that, you're always cautious of, repeat performances like that. So for us, we wanted to get out to a quick start. We wanted to share the basketball. We wanted to make it very difficult for them to have any open looks. And they did get some, and they made us pay for them. But moving down to the end of the season and postseason, we want to play our best basketball. And this was a great start to do that.
Coach, you mentioned having a game plan for this particular game and every game. Was there anything you saw in your preparation that surprised you about this game today that Kentucky did?
No, I mean, I thought they played to their strengths. But for us, we have a wave of players that we can actually keep applying the pressure on both sides of the basketball. So we utilize our depth and our length and our ability to play together like we've been playing all season long. So nothing, obviously we know of Petty's talent. We know of Maddie's talent. We know of Anaya Russell's talent. We know of Olivia Miles's talent. We know about all of their talent. We just have to, like any game, try to disrupt that from a defensive standpoint, and then apply offensive pressure by moving the basketball.
Hey, Coach, I just wanted to ask
Brooklyn
you.
Miles, my bad, y'all.
You guys put up 103 points today, but I just wanted you to talk about, you guys were 19 of 21 from the free throw line tonight.
Yes, that's another stat that area we've been working on. Like, I mean, we're like a 66, 67 average from the free throw line, which is very good. But we're working at it. I think we got the right people shooting them today.
Coach, sorry if you've been asked this before, but this stretch, especially these back-to-back games with Alabama and Kentucky and blowouts, I guess this is the time of year when you want to be playing your best, but not having Cardoso these past couple of games to have that kind of depth show with games like that. What is that? How does that make you feel? How confident does that make you going in, the conference tournament in a couple of weeks?
Well, I'm confident that our players show us each and every game that what they're capable of, but I do think our practices are areas in which give me pause, because we don't execute like this in practice. We don't, and it's great balance. It's great balance in that it drives us as coaches to continue to see these type of performances in practice, because you never know, when that practice team might show up in a game, and that is what keeps us on our toes and keeps us up at night to make sure that team doesn't show up. And I do think we have good male practice players that we call highlighters that really challenge us to the point where we don't really know how good we are. And then we have performances like this that shows that we're a really good basketball team, and we show up on game day. But we can't just rely on that. We got to perform like that in practice.
Well, Coach, you pretty much answered the question, but I'll ask anyway. How surprising are you that your team is 27-0, and how well do you think your team is prepared for the tournament now?
I mean, this team really surprises me every day. Every time that we play a game, they have something about them, a competitiveness in them that they don't want to lose, and they find ways to win no matter how teams are approaching us, no matter how the game mucks up or how the game is smooth, or they find a way to win basketball games, and that's that's a sign of a really good team. I'm not going to say that we're not a good basketball. We're a really good basketball team when we are playing like we played today, locking up defensively and then sharing the basketball offensively and making sure that the right people are taking the best shot on the floor. And that's a challenge. It's a challenge every day because we haven't lost a game, and our players are thinking that this is the way it is. And it really isn't, because the competition gets better and better as we approach postseason. So we want to give our players their flowers, but we also know that there's work to do.